that was my impression of what a fuckboy looks like, which is kind of bad because it's low-key what I be wearing on a regular basis, bro. Anyway, you've come to this video to understand how to not be a fuckboy. As someone that cares about you, I would like to be one of the influences in your life that takes you down what I believe is the right path, as opposed to helping you destroy other people's lives. So yeah, I'm gonna cover through some of my personal experiences on how to not be one of those people, how to not be a fuckboy, and how guys end up becoming them as well, which I think is pretty interesting to explore. Now, of course, with all the information I'm giving here, could you go ahead and turn it around and just be one anyway? Yeah, but I hope that you won't do that, bro, because I have faith in you. I think I should start off by leading with that you don't have to be a fuckboy to be successful with relationships that you pursue in your life. I think that's a common misconception that guys, especially young guys, think that you need to treat women badly or be deceiving to be successful with them and to rack up that high body count that you want so badly. It's not the case. I think there are two different types of fuckboys. I think there are the ones that know what they're doing is wrong and they kind of like it. They're like, yeah, this is me, I'm that guy. And I think there are also the guys that kind of do it unintentionally, like they're just oblivious to the damage they're causing around them. And honestly, I think in the past I've leaned more towards the latter, holding up my hands. Yeah. Now, to talk about this, I have to go a few years back. I've only had 2 girlfriends in my life. I've had ones when I was a kid, but they don't really count. So yeah, 2 serious relationships I've had. After my first relationship, I was in a mess. I was in a very bad state of being. I was still in love with my ex. Let's call her April. If you guys know why I'm calling her April, it's actually pretty funny, but whatever. I was still in love with April, and so I didn't move on in the right way. And it's interesting because guys tend to move on, or try and move on. They handle breakups very differently to women. Women, for the most part, will sit in their feelings, talk to their friends about it, and go through the breakup in a better way. And eventually when they come out of it, they're like, cool, I'm done, dusted. Guys will be like, well, I'm single, time to jump back into the dating world, date, fuck. And then eventually they realize, oh shit, I'm not actually over my ex. And then they might start crawling back to them, and then they're a mess once their ex has moved on. Yeah, that was me. And so yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why guys end up being fuckboys. Like, I've done a video in the past about hurt people. It's pretty much that. Now, with the former example I gave of guys knowingly going around and messing with people's heads, I don't know. I think that just comes from a prolonged sense of pain where they feel like there's no hope left, so why not just join the dark side? Or they're just a dickhead. To analyse my past self, what was I doing that was wrong, and why do I kind of look back at myself with disappointment in the way that I was acting in these relationships? I think one of the biggest things is not being upfront with your intentions and leading people on. When I was younger, I know that I felt a sense of, if I tell this person that I don't want to date them for a long period of time, then they're just not going to want to be involved with me, because that's all girls want. Which isn't actually the case. Like, some girls do just want you for sex, bro. Or just to go on a couple dates. But when I was younger, I wasn't really aware of this. Maybe I was aware, but I just didn't want to take my chances with messing up a potential that I wanted to be with. So I would just kind of not bring it up. And to be fair, a lot of the time, some of the girls didn't bring it up either, but maybe from the way that I was acting, they kind of just assumed that I wanted to be with them, and perhaps rightly so, but I didn't want to be with them or take them seriously as a partner. So if you don't want to come across as a fuckboy, then yes, be upfront with your intentions with the person. Let them know, hey, just to let you know, I'm not actually looking for anything serious right now. Is that okay with you? Do you want to move on? I have had a mix of answers. Some will be like, yeah, it's fine, like, let's continue doing whatever it is that we're doing. And then others will be like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. That's not what I'm really here for. Which is okay, bro. Like, in the long run, it's better you do that than you feel guilty afterwards for messing someone around. If you're not a sociopath, then you will feel guilty. And I'm speaking from experience. Years after, I felt guilty about how some of my relationships, or I guess you would say situationships, had ended. Now I say this, but there are situations when you can be upfront with someone, but then as the situationship evolves and develops, one could be acting more relationshipy with the other person, or both could just be acting more like you're in a relationship. And so when one party decides to tell the other, oh, actually, I'm not looking for this, people get hurt anyway. I think this is a bit of a grey area because it can be hard to stop yourself from feeling a certain way when you spend a lot of time with someone. Even if you went into the relationship with the precedent that, yo, this is just a casual thing, feelings can develop. Even if you were the one that set the expectations at the start, you could be the one that ends up getting feelings. The other person listened to what you've said from the get-go and has kept their head strong. You've become weak. You tell them you want a relationship. They say no. Now you're hurt because you're the one that set the boundaries in the first place, which is tough. But that's just the way of the world. And I think because of that, even if you set boundaries from the get-go, I think it is important to keep checking in with each other, especially if it's a long-term thing that you're doing. If you do start to get feelings, it's probably advisable to let them know early on so that you can protect yourself from getting hurt as well before things get too serious or just drama ensues. Just, bro. Yeah. Now going back to what I was saying about people unintentionally becoming fuckboys after relationships. As guys, like I said, we tend to just jump back in. If there's any advice that I could give you, and I know it's hard to abide by, it would be to wait. Wait until you jump back into the dating world. Because chances are you haven't had time to process whatever it was that you've been through. It doesn't matter how long your relationship was. Some people actually feel the effects of a breakup more from a 6-month relationship as opposed to a 20-year marriage. That sounds wild, I know, but if you're interested in why that actually happens, it's because 6-month relationships have a lot of potential, whereas with a 20-year marriage, you've most likely seen everything that that relationship has to offer. So yeah, bro, at the end of the day, just do your best not to hurt people. I think that's the main thing. Like, be empathetic, put yourself in other people's shoes. Don't do things that you wouldn't want done to you. Hopefully then you'll be at peace with yourself, knowing that you're not doing bad things, you're not ruining people's lives. Or just ignore everything that I just said and be on demon mode. It's up to you at the end of the day. It's your life. As your friend, I've got you. Stay tuned for more videos. Take it easy.